Hello, Jim Adams here. Welcome to the Easy Investing Income YouTube channel. And today I want to share with you when the best times are to actually sell put options. I'm a options trader. I primarily sell options, and I've done really well with put options. And I want to share with you what I found to be the best times to actually sell them. So I'm glad you joined me. Let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to go ahead and share a little bit about myself. I kind of started this journey almost a year ago. I believe next month it would be a year, and I had been selling covered calls for a long time, and I really didn't know what I was doing. So about a year ago, I decided to take the plunge and really learn a lot more about how to actually sell options and make extra income. So I decided to do more research on YouTube, as well as read some books and found some nice blogs, and learned that there is definitely a better way to do things. And over the last year, I have probably, I think I sold over 150, or had over 150 trades. So I've really gotten used to how to do things. And with those 150 trades, I've only had, I think, one, possibly two assigned. I've not really taken any losses. I do have a few that are in a little bit of trouble now, and I may do a separate video discussing that, but I've been able to roll out of trouble with most of my trades. The current one I'm having issues with is Microsoft, and hopefully I'll be able to also get out of it without having taking a big loss. So what I've learned is really the best tool in my chest, or in my tool chest, is actually selling put options. And a put option, the easiest way to think about it is if you want to own something like Intel and it's at $50, and say you want to maybe buy it at 45, you can sell a contract in the future and someone will actually pay you premium. In that contract, you designate what kind of price. So you might say, well, I'll sell this 60 days from now with a strike price of 45, and someone will actually give you premium. And I found that the put options, actually the premium is higher than call options, and actually selling call options. So it's become my favorite trade, and I've done quite well with it. Earlier I mentioned that I've had maybe one or two trades, or not trades, but positions assigned, and those were all calls. I don't think I've had any put options assigned. So so that's kind of what a put option is. And the fact that you can get more premium has been really nice, and I use it as a way to earn money on my emergency fund. So I trade around 15 times a month, and probably 10 of those trades are put options versus covered calls. So, and they probably are, without a doubt, bringing in the most premium. Now you'd wonder, well, is there a specific day or time that I should look at the market? Well, I haven't really found, of course, if you're having a major down day, and we'll talk about that next, you should be out there looking for some good premium, because on a down day, and it can be because the market's going through a correction, or it can be because of bad earnings that the stock price goes way down. Those are really good days to actually trade. So you should get on and try to find some premium those days. But there's really not a specific day. I like to get on typically around 10 a.m. and then again at like 2:30 to see if there's any opportunities in the market. I have found that if Friday is a down day, Monday may also be a down day. So if you're so those days could be good days to trade. Now, for the typical person who's buying stocks, those are days you should stay away from. But for selling puts, you really, when the market goes down, is really good days. It's days to be on the market and to be looking for good premium in selling puts. Again, I mentioned down days and corrections last week. I believe a week ago Monday, the market went down by over 700 points, and I did, I think, 4 trades that day, and I made over $600 that day. So it was a really good day. I kind of look forward to down days, which is very different from how I was when I was just buying stocks. Now, when down day comes and I'm ready to get on the market and make some money, I also like down days because I can usually find some really good income, or not income, dividend income, and mainly because I can buy some stocks at a discount, and yet usually means the premium will be even higher, or the dividend premium would be even higher. So, another thing I wanted to mention with selling puts, and it's also true with selling calls, that you can almost at any time find value in the market. So I don't I try to make around 2,000 a month. So I've been doing this, what I'm calling my journey, for 11 months, and I've made as little as 1,100. That was my first month, and then I believe 2 months ago I made close to $3,000. But I prefer to average around 2,000, and part of that has to do with I don't want to make too much money. I'm actually on Obamacare for health care, and if I make too much, then the premiums go through the roof. I do get some subsidies, mainly by keeping my income to a reasonable level. So that's part of the reason why I'm averaging 2,000 a month. I could probably make a lot more, and I know there's others that make a lot more. But I get to that now. I get to that $2,000 range, and then I'm usually done. And it's usually anywhere from 10 to 15 trades. And if I get to $2,000, like I've just reached $2,000 for July, I'm not really doing a whole lot of trading. I do have, of course, Microsoft that I'd mentioned before, so I may try to trade that before the end of the week, but if not, I'll trade it early in the week. That's another important point with trading. One thing I've learned is in most cases, you're not going to have your stocks assigned to you or away from you other than on expiration day. So I never trade on expiration day. So if it's a Friday and it's expiration day, I typically will trade a day or two before that. So if a lot of my options are expiring on Friday and they're anywhere near the money, I will try to close them on the Wednesday before, or possibly even earlier in the week. Or for Microsoft, it expires next Friday, and I'm looking today at seeing if I can roll it and make a little bit more premium and up the strike price. So the other thing to watch out for, which is something I've learned in every instance where stocks have been assigned either typically away from me, is related to ex-dividend dates. So I always like to try to keep an idea of when the ex-dividend dates are for my positions. So that's an really important thing to keep in mind. So typically, if it's called away and it's before the expiration date, you can probably look and it's related to the ex-dividend date. The other point I wanted to make is statistics and patience. A lot of times I've found that on average, I think it's like 55% of the time the market is up on a daily basis, meaning the other 45% the market's down. So if today is just like an average day and it's slightly up, well, you should wait till you have a down day before actually doing the trades. So a lot of times I won't find any premium one day, and then I'll wait another day or two, and the premium could double for those puts. So you need to be patient, and if you don't see the numbers there, and I sometimes will just sign off and say, well, it's just one of those days. I'll sign on a different day, and that's the beauty of selling options. Like I said, I do 15 trades, and I maybe spend 3 or 4 hours, and it's relatively easy to do. I find it as easy as buying stocks or selling stocks. And I use Schwab, so I'm not even using one of these special options portals like Tasty Trade or one of those. I'm just using Schwab in my existing accounts. And then I wanted to share with you the Schwab wish list. I'm going to do a quick demo, and I found it to be really helpful with being able to track my stocks. And let's close this presentation. And let me actually move over to Schwab. So here you can see, you can reach it by going to research, and then you can do view wish lists, which you can see here on the right. And then you can select view full wish list. And what's nice about this, and let me move this, make it a little smaller, and again, I'm primarily showing you on Schwab, but I think most of the brokerages have something like this. But these are all the stocks that are securities that I'm interested in, and you can see here it shows you the day change. You've got, here, these are the quotes. You've got basic view, analyst ratings. You can really do quite a bit with this. So if we go to analyst ratings, we'll see all the different analyst ratings. You can have multiple lists. You see here I'm using just one of my lists, but you can have more than one. So you can look at analyst ratings. You can look at the basic view, which what's important to me here is I can see the dividends. And again, these are the stocks that I'm interested in. I'm probably going to create another list of all my existing stocks, mainly because it's real easy to see this ex dividend date here, and when I have to be aware that it may get called away from me quickly, or sooner than the expiration date. But you get a lot of information at your fingertips, and I find that I'll go straight to this whenever the market's on a down day, and I can literally, if I go back to the quote view, I typically will arrange it where I'm seeing what the day change is, and typically something like Genuine Parts, which is one of the ones I'd like to invest in, and you can see it's got an A rating from Schwab. But if it's having a down day, you can a lot of times come over to options, and you can see that it's got quite a bit of value. The market's actually closed, but you can see here it'll show you here. You can see change, but a lot of times you'll see quite a bit of change, and you can actually take a look at different premiums and decide what you want to do. So this has been a really good tool, and again, it's on Schwab, but my guess is something very similar exists for most of the other platforms. I also like to show with dividends. I'm a dividend investor, so between the 2,000 on average I'm earning selling options and the dividends, I'm able to be financially independent. And I primarily like finding dividend companies where they're growing their dividends. Here you can see they're growing every year. If you come down, you can actually see that on a 5-year growth, it's 5.5% over 5 years. 10 years, it's something like 6.8. That's meaning on average for the 10-year period, they're growing dividends close to 6.8%. So buying a lot of these, and also by investing in these, if they get assigned, I want to own it anyway. So what's the risk other than I'd got it at a lower price than if I had just bought it in the market that day? Plus I earned premium on it. So I primarily stick to these, what I call dogs of the Dow, and where they're increasing premiums. I will look at Apple. I want to own Apple, and I've actually sold a lot of puts on Apple and made really good money, but it's gone back up, so I haven't been able to actually have it assigned to me. If it keeps coming down again, I may try that again. And I also will do a lot of puts on DVY, which is it's an index ETF that is primarily dividend growth companies, and it's also been a lot of premiums. So in DVY, let's go to DVY real quick. And it's a little bit down today, but you can see it's come up. But you can, if you go to options, it's well, and you can see it pays, what is it right now, 3.2. So I recently did some put options at close to 100, and I think I did them for, well, I did one for 60 months, well, 6 months. So it was a little bit longer, but I earned some really good premium on it. And if I can pick it up at that amount, at $100 a share, then I'd be really happy. And, at that point, instead of 3.2%, it would be a really good percent. So if I don't have something I'm interested in, like right now the market's really high, so I will default to DVY. The other stocks that I'm looking at currently are things like Cisco. Intel has gone down a little bit. It's a good investment. AbbVie, and so there's a group of different stocks that I've been looking at, and they're all in this watch list. So the watch list makes things a lot easier, and just getting around and doing some research. But I typically sell these same puts, so once they expire, I can close them, or I roll them. I make a lot of money with rolling them too. So, and it's usually the same 5 or 10 stocks, actually closer to 10 stocks in ETFs. So there's primarily 10 securities that I look at, and it makes it a little bit simpler or easier to deal with than having lots and lots of investments. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope, it's, if you would, I'd love it if you would click the like button, and that way any more videos that I make, will be pushed higher in the algorithm for YouTube. Also subscribe, if that way you'll be notified as I make more and more of these videos. I'm planning to change the format a little bit. I'm going to share going forward what I'm investing in each week, so that people can actually see some of my things that I'm interested in, and especially if there's any changes. So tune back in often, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.